Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're getting straight into some attacks. This is going to be the new format for my video, guys. I'm pushing in Legend League on 2 accounts with, in my opinion, the best army in Clash of Clans right here, the Dragon Rider Totem with the new King equipment. Since I am pushing on 2 accounts and I'm wanting to condense videos since they are going to be daily, I'll just get right into videos. I won't really have an intro. We'll just run the attacks right away. I will have timestamps for the attacks, army link below as usual. But yeah, that's the format for the videos, guys. So as you can see on this base, we get a really good double rage kind of compact base here. This is for like anti-throwers. But King gets really good value, as you can see. 12 o'clock up there, he's going to create a very good funnel for us. We're going to funnel the bottom 3 o'clock corner with the Queen and Siege Barracks. So we get a good arrow right there, barely missed the back end air defense. Could have been a better arrow, but is what it is. Now we are getting our Inferno Dragons in first, then Dragon Riders, then Warden, then Minion Prince, and usually 1 to 2 totems on entry. So I would always deploy in that order that I just mentioned right there. A nice early freeze just for a Scattershot and Multi-Inferno Tower. Multi-Infernos are kind of the biggest threat to Dragon Riders, so you definitely want to freeze or overgrowth them when you can, or Warden ability as you're seeing here. So good Warden ability as we're entering into the base. As you're seeing, really good totems spread out. We place 2 right there, and then a beautiful Minion Prince ability that just freezes the entire core and allows our Dragon Riders to continue moving through this base. So you're seeing another really good totem down there on the fast attack multi-gear cannon. Nice overgrowth, and the reason, guys, I didn't let the rage pop this time is because I wanted to deal with the Revenge Tower right away. So I missed the Revenge Tower with the overgrowth on purpose, just to again make sure that we could deal with the Revenge Tower quicker, and I didn't want that Revenge Tower to be raged up while we were dealing with it. So now we know when the overgrowth pops, we'll still have to deal with a rage compartment, but at that point the base is gone. We have so much of our army left. We still have 2 support spells, and our heroes are full health as well. So there's one final totem for Scattershot, Air Defense, Multi-Archer, Expo, then a really good freeze on the Scattershot and Multi-Inferno Tower, and this base is crushed. So I will give you guys the recap for both of my Legend days moving forward. Again, this will be the format for my videos. I'm always going to be fully transparent, even on days I don't want to show, like today. I kind of had an off day. Quick spoiler alert, I went 6 of 8 on both accounts, which is not ideal after going, 8 of 8, 320s the last couple days on both of these accounts. But we're just kind of rushing attacks today, to be honest, and made a couple silly mistakes. But we'll go over that when we get there. I only showed 1 fail in today's video, and it is a little longer than I'd like it to be. It's about 20 minutes today. But again, this is the format for the videos. Let me know what you guys think. I do my attacks, not live, where I can really lock in, and then hopefully my commentary is helpful and maybe educational is kind of the goal here. So yeah, I just realized too, guys, I forgot to do verse of the day since my intro was a little different and weird today, so we're gonna get into that really quickly. Today's verse comes from Philippians 4:13, super popular verse. You guys have maybe heard it. It says, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." So God is for us. He makes life a lot easier. We're not meant to do it on our own, and impossible things become possible when we have God in our life. So great verse. There's a reason that's a super popular verse. But back to this attack, you guys see a really good Queen arrow right there, getting the back end air defense, and obviously our King, as I was saying, the verse got insane value for us right there. Triggered the rage compartment. That's why we're entering straight into it right away, and this is the heaviest part of the base, so you're going to see an early Warden ability right now, especially as we're going into this Giga Bomb. And then you will see a Minion Prince ability very soon as well. Again, because we're going into such a compact area of the base, this is the most damage, this is the scariest part of the base, so we got to take it out sooner than later. So good poison, always poison that furnace as soon as possible, guys. We get a nice freeze on the Multi-Inferno off to the right at 3 o'clock, and we're just kind of rolling through at this point. We just need to deal with this invis section around the town hall because we didn't shoot the Queen arrow through it. So I was just planning on using an overgrowth spell once the invis triggers. So as you can see, a Dragon Rider or 2 popped it right there. Now we just overgrowth it immediately. Right here I was about 1 second late on my totem spell, and my Queen dies down below at 9 o'clock. Not the biggest deal because we're still able to get the job done ultimately, but would have been nice to have her, and you usually do want to support your Queen and Giant all throughout the attack. You really have to be good at multitasking and staying zoomed out and knowing where to place totem spells to support your Queen, Giant, Minion Prince, and Dragon Riders, especially if they kind of split. So got to be quick to react and think where you need totem spells, but not too quick where they're just kind of spammed and wasted. So it does take a little bit of skill to learn this army. I felt like I talked so highly of this army yesterday and made it sound like it was super easy, so apologies if I led anyone astray. But once you learn this army and the steps to it, that's when it is super easy, and it can seriously restart any type of base. So it does take just a little bit of practice, especially with the totem spells. But if you've been playing Clash of Clans for a long enough time, I mean, you're watching this video, you're probably Town Hall 18, you're probably in Legend League as well. you should know how to use spells, right? Like, spells are the most important thing in Clash of Clans, spell timing and placement. So yeah, again, I don't ever want to lead anyone astray or clickbait or anything like that in my videos, but I do want to show you guys how powerful this army is, and I hope you guys are seeing that. So King right here, again, with the new equipment, is just crazy. He gets amazing value for us on every single attack almost now. So we take out a whole rage compartment right there. That's just beautiful for us, and the other rage compartment we're going to go into pretty early on. So good Queen Arrow gets out a couple air defenses there. And now I just want to send my whole army straight into the town hall and just let them move up into the base right away. So spread out the Dragon Riders, Warden, Minion Prince, all in. We're getting a couple nice totems spread out in entry here. Always totem the long shot, guys. Long shot is crazy strong even after it got nerfed, and it definitely can take out your Dragon Riders quickly. So I would make sure you always have totems on that long shot until it gets destroyed. Nice free spell down below as well on the Revenge Tower. And we're just kind of moving through. Very nice Minion Prince ability. Again, you always got to line up that Minion Prince ability, you guys. Use it earlier into the attacks rather than later, where it's going to get so much value and freeze key defenses like you saw right here. That was a beautiful Minion Prince ability. Another overgrowth, or not another, but an overgrowth right there to take out some key defenses and allow our Dragon Riders to kind of get back together, continue moving through the base. And by the time the overgrowth wears off, those are going to be the final defenses. That's usually how you want to time it. Unless you're overgrowthing like a rage compartment, but a lot of the time you just want to take out some key defenses on the back end with your overgrowth, let the Dragon Riders and heroes work through the rest of the base, and then again, once the overgrowth wears off, just this little compartment is all we have to deal with, and the base is crushed, another 3 stars. So loving this army, guys. A lot of success with it. Again, I had a little bit of an off day, went 6 of 8 on both of my accounts. I'll explain my fails later, but on to the next one. Right here, getting a king just straight into a rage compartment. We get an early totem spell just to support him and save some HP on him. It just allows us to get a little bit more value, and he doesn't, you know, get melted down as quickly. It allows us to use the whole 30 seconds of the new stick horse. I keep forgetting that equipment name, and the giant gauntlet. So again, always getting out a spell tower and luring the CC is very ideal with the king, and most of my attacks, you see, those are 2 things that I aim for, that I go for. So if you're not sure where should I place my king with this army, always try to lure CC, lure a poison or rage spell tower compartment, but also get good pathing and good key defenses around that area. So that would be my advice for where to start your king on attacks if you're a little confused or don't know where to start him. But you see really early overgrowth here after I just said usually use it late. This is purely a pathing overgrowth. This just makes sure my Dragon Riders stay compact and they move around the base. What would that be? Counterclockwise, staying together. Because if I hadn't overgrowth this section, we would have had a huge split right now. Half of our army would have been down below, half would have been up top, and that's not ideal. You definitely want to keep your Dragon Riders compact with this army. So again, pretty early on Minion Prince ability right there. Love to see that. Froze the whole back end. And as you can see, our whole army is just so compact together up here at 12 o'clock right now because of that early on overgrowth. So that was very important. You got to know when and where to use overgrowths. Again, it goes back to my spell timing and placement comment. That is super important in Clash of Clans. As soon as you can learn that, practice, get better at that, you'll have a lot of success regardless of the army you're using. Every single army uses spells, right? So good freeze, good totem, just distracting the enemy Minion Prince and scatter shot. And at this point, we have 2 support spells left. We're just going to save them for a little bit, being patient, just trying to ultimately support the Minion Prince. We need to make sure Minion Prince stays alive so that his meteors can keep raining down, and the base should be crushed, again, if the Minion Prince can stay alive throughout the whole duration of attacks. So there was a good totem on the 9 o'clock Super Wizard Tower just to make sure it wasn't chaining onto the rest of my Dragon Riders. You'll see a good freeze on the Multi-Inferno and Expel in like 2 seconds right here, and then this base is crushed again as well. So yeah, we're having success. Like I said, today was a little bit of an off day. I don't know, I'm still trying to figure out the king and just that equipment and still getting comfortable with it. It's only like day 3 now of using the stick horse. So my couple fails that I failed today was I placed the king where he literally got like no value at all and didn't create a funnel. So again, I will show you guys one of those attacks at the very end, but back to the task at hand here. We placed the king at 10 o'clock. And he got decent value. He didn't get the best value on this specific base, but he is able to trigger that rage compartment and pulled the CC troops like we talked about. So that is very nice. And there is still a decent funnel there at 10 o'clock. There's a pretty nice hole in the base right there. So we're trying to kind of close off the other side of the funnel right now with the siege barracks and queen. Don't be afraid to let them work for a good 10-15 seconds. There's no rush with this army, you guys. It's so fast. So make sure a funnel is set. Right here, I even could have waited another 5 seconds to let the giant funnel a little bit better. But the timing works out where when the Dragon Riders are finally moving down into the base, they will head to the core. They won't go off to the right because the funnel has been established as of right now. So good minion prince ability early on as well. This time I used minion prince ability first before my Eternal Tome. And you see a really early overgrowth as well. Similar to last attack, that's just a pathing overgrowth really. It also froze some key defenses, or negated the operation of key defenses. I don't know. That was weird terminology. I don't know if that made sense. But basically that overgrowth allowed our army to stay together, compact into the core, and they're moving down into the space together. So invis triggers right there. Don't really worry about it, guys. Invis bases are the weakest bases in Clash of Clans. You can just power through them. So yeah, I think we get one more totem right there for the enemy minion prince and long shot. Also the enemy queen. We have a freeze for the enemy queen and long shot, and minion prince is going to finish them off along with the queen taking out the enemy queen. And yeah, this one's another crushed base. I wouldn't recommend using single inferno towers ever. It's just not the better option. Multi inferno towers are always so much stronger and just a better option. So yeah, this base is crushed. Next we get a nice, I think this is a rage poison core. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, Rage Poison. This was a weird base. I don't think I've seen a layout exactly like this one, so I just decided to place the king over here at 7 o'clock. He's getting really good value, and watch this, guys. He actually jumps in and gets the long shot, which is crazy. I wasn't planning on that to happen. I was honestly kind of hoping that he would go down and get the sweeper, the scatter shot, pop the Rage tower right there, spell tower in the core, but instead he went and took the long shot, and I'm not complaining. That's obviously really nice. He was able to fully take that out as well. So RC would have never done that, right, if we were still using the Royal Champion with spear and shield. So now I'm just deciding, hey, where do I want to start the attack? I think I just want to start my Dragon Riders all the way up at 11. Therefore, Queen needs to funnel off this 12 o'clock side, making sure our army stays compact, moving straight into the both of the spell tower compartments instead of flying up and kind of spreading out on the right side of the base. So cut that funnel off nice and quickly with the Siege Barracks and Queen Arrow. Really good totem on entry just to distract the enemy minion prince. And again, early totems on your entries delay warden ability. That's what they do. So you really want to hold off warden ability unless you're seeing a bunch of red bombs and black bombs right away, seeking air mines. Then you obviously want to pop your warden ability. But if you can, see how I held on to the warden ability until we're getting into the core where both of these spell tower compartments are. Again, another pretty early on, well-timed minion prince ability that is just freezing most of this base. That overgrowth was kind of a pathing overgrowth, but also taking out key defenses. That was like a multi-use overgrowth, so that was very well timed and placed right there. And again, this spell timing on all of my attacks, not all of my attacks, but the attacks I 3-star, that is what allows me to triple, you guys. Like the timing and the placement of these overgrowth spells, these totem spells, that's the difference between failing attacks, you know, getting like mid 60 to 90% attacks, or 3-starring. It's just spells. I'm telling y'all, it's just spells. So occasionally you can approach a base from the wrong or incorrect direction, the not ideal location, right? And maybe you have bad pathing with your army, so that can cause you to fail too. But more often than not, people are failing in Clash of Clans because their spell timing and placement isn't very ideal. Maybe it's rushed, maybe it's too late. So just fine-tune that, lock in, and get better at spells, y'all. I'm trying to help y'all. It's all that I love. I'm trying to teach y'all. I say that because I see a lot of, you know, my homies, cousins, clanmates, things like that. If they do fail, like in Clan War League or regular Clan Wars, it's typically because of spells and maybe like poor spell usage or management. So anyway, done with the spell rant. On to this next attack. This isn't the fail quite yet. I just got to make sure I'm ready for the fail, so I can explain why it fails. But King right here at 2 o'clock, basically 3 o'clock in this corner, gets really good value. As you see, he's getting the enemy Royal Champion, he's getting the air defense, he goes and gets multi-archer towers, he pops a whole rage compartment, so just beautiful value. He's going to work doing his thing, so love to see that. Now I'm just trying to decide where I want to place my queen to finalize a funnel to send our Dragon Riders into a compact, narrow opening. And I think we decide to send them just at 4 o'clock right here. So yeah, we're gonna place our siege barracks down below at 6. Queen gets a pretty bad arrow, I'm pretty sure, on this base. I'm pretty sure I missed my arrow on this attack. We'll see. Inferno Dragons in first. Here's the queen. Let's see. Yeah, so I only got 1 air defense. I was hoping to get the back end second air defense over there at 9 o'clock, but missed that one. Anyway, we pop a nice early warden ability as we are heading into the core of this base with some multi-infernos. I'm basically multitasking right here, supporting my giant and queen down at 6 o'clock, but also my whole main army push that is up at 2 o'clock right now. So staying zoomed out, again, multitasking, looking left and right quickly. Where do I need totem spells? Where do I need to support my army? This is a pretty bad split, so we have to get an overgrowth right there as soon as the rage compartment triggers. If I didn't overgrowth right there at that timing, we would have failed this attack, I promise you guys. So that overgrowth had to go in the second all of those key defenses were raged up. Really nice totem spell over there at 9 o'clock to support my giant, a couple dragon riders up there, some super minions, and this one got pretty close, you guys. There's no reason to totem this long shot right now because it's shooting boogers and now it's shooting a minion, so I'm just keeping an eye on that minion prince interaction basically that entire time with the long shot, making sure I didn't need a freeze or the minion prince ability. And we get a final freeze spell right there just to support my giant a little bit more. But as you can see, this was one of the closest attacks today, one of the closest triples at least, because again I did fail a few attacks today, but I will show you guys the recap at the end. I think I've said that like 3 times now. But anyway, we are able to clean that one up barely. So next attack, we get the siege barracks in first. Guys, this base is really difficult. So this is the base that I failed on twice today. 2 out of 4 of my fails today total were on this exact base until I figured out how to approach this base. So here's how you approach this specific base with this specific army. Again, it took me a couple fails to figure it out, but you have to create a funnel with your queen first to make sure that your king goes into the base. If not, the king's gonna walk around, clear out trash buildings, and get no value at all for you. Again, that happened twice for me. That's the reason I failed 2 battles, until I finally learned from my mistakes and figured out, hey, let's maybe place the queen in siege barracks first, let them kind of clear out some trash buildings, and send my king straight into the base, making sure he can get all of his value, pop a rage compartment, and yeah, then the base is going to be overkilled, right? If the king goes in. When the king walks, I got no value. That happened 2 times. There was another base that was very similar to this. Same exact thing happened. King just walked around, cleared all the trash buildings. It was that really big like square base where everything's in the middle. It's very similar to this base where it's just trying to counter throwers. But really good overgrowth right there. Really good freeze right there because my king went in and did his job. But to finish that point, what I was saying, guys, is a very similar base like this. That was my third fail was on a base where it's just my king did not go in. He cleared trash buildings. I could never get him into the base because I didn't funnel him in. So sometimes you do have to funnel your king into the base to get good value on these really annoying like square compact bases. So I hope that made sense, you guys. I wouldn't have spent so much time explaining it right there and kind of not commentating this attack if it wasn't important. Again, 3 out of 4 of my fails were on these annoying square bases that are meant to counter throwers, but it ended up countering my army because I didn't know that I needed to funnel for my king. Typically, I just place my king first, hope for the best, hope he would go in, you know, pop his ability, and then I finally learned, like, hey, I can't do that. I need to place my queen first, create a funnel, make sure my king gets into the base, and then as you can see, the base is crushed. It's night and day difference. I got like a 70% and an 80%, some of my lowest percent attacks that I've had in a long time. One of them was even a 1-star. I did have 1-1-star today. Just ugly attacks because I didn't know how to approach those square bases yet. I don't do friendly challenges. I probably should do that. I don't do anything like that, so I kind of just learned as I went, and I learned the hard way today. Got three fails because of it. You guys will see the 4th fail that I haven't mentioned yet, and I'll explain that actually right here. So right now, king is up at 12 o'clock as well as a baby dragon, but look at this, you guys. My king just does not get good value. Pay attention to what he got. Nothing so far. He is able to get out the enemy royal champion, but he's wasting so much time on 1 gold storage right now. Now he's wasting a bunch of time on 1 dark elixir collector. Now he's wasting a bunch of time on 1 single multi-archer. So he got, what, like 2 defenses that targeted there right there, I think. Like, just terrible value. No funnel is really created. Yeah, there's some trash buildings gone at 12 o'clock. But it's just really not a good funnel. We were able to lure 1 poison spell tower, so because of that I was like, okay, I probably should start up here. I wish I would have approached over at 10 o'clock with my dragon riders and placed my queen at 9 o'clock in the far left corner that you guys can't see right now. So I missed my arrow right there. That was the main reason we failed as well, guys. I missed my arrow. There's a back-end air defense that is going to be the last standing defense right here, and that's the reason we failed. So between no value with my king, missing a queen arrow, and then probably not the best approach, just because, again, a poison spell tower got lured, I was like, all right, let's just start right here, head into the town hall right away. So those 3 things, again, king hardly any value, queen missed the back-end air defense that you can see over here at 9 o'clock, and I didn't approach the base from the correct location. I should have started up at 10 o'clock right now, where our army is finally flying into right now, right? Pretty good overgrowth. I felt like I had some really pretty well placed totem spells, so because of those things, we're still able to get super close, you guys. But this was my 4th and final fail. That was a legit like power fail, because I don't know, like, I explained. The king did nothing. The queen missed the back and air defense that would have been taken out right now. This one final standing air defense should have been, again, taken out with the queen arrow. Would have been a whole different story. But yeah, we learned from our mistakes. You guys obviously would have liked to have hit the queen arrow. Now I know that I should have placed the king probably like 5 tiles down to the left, where he would have taken out kind of this compartment right now that we're trying to finish off. But this one ultimately gets so close, guys. We were like half a second away from one more meteor hitting the air defense right here, and we probably would have 3-starred the base. But yeah, just a couple too many mistakes kind of stacked, and that forces us to fail. All right, guys, full transparency, want to show you my recap on both accounts moving forward. This, again, will be the template for my videos, so I will always have this at the end of videos. I'll show you guys both recaps, even if it's a bad day like today. This was yesterday, had the nice 320 on both my accounts, but today, again, had 2 fails. So the really low percent was just on that box space where it was anti-thrower, but my king didn't go in, didn't get any value, so that was a really low percent fail. And then the 92%, I just explained why that failed. So there is my lower account. That is my alternate account, and I just switched to the same account, so give me 1 second, guys. Clicked the wrong one. We'll head to the main account. But yeah, I just want to show you guys the recaps and be transparent, and I think you guys can learn from fails. There's more like educational opportunities from fails, so I hope my explanations make sense and you can learn from them and prevent what I did if you use this army as well. So the 90% was just a fail, again, on one of those box bases. King didn't get any value, and I should have flown into the town hall. Appreciate that subscriber. I'm not on Do Not Disturb right now, but I appreciate you. Anyway, and then the 99%, same thing. My king didn't really get good value, and we're still able to 99%. We actually time failed right there, so it's kind of funny. Yesterday I said I've never time failed with this army until today, of course. I just had to say something, but yeah, my king didn't get good value. It was on one of those box bases, and we still were able to get a 99%. So long story short, I went 6 out of 8 on both accounts. Kind of an off day. I'm not super happy with it, but I learned how to attack those annoying anti-thrower bases now, so I will be able to approach those better. And yeah, we'll clean up the attacks and hopefully get back to some 320s for tomorrow. But we are slowly pushing up in rank. We're slowly getting there. Gonna keep being consistent, posting at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time every single night. So please like and subscribe to follow along with our journey. But I appreciate you guys spending so long with us. Again, this is a little bit over 20 minutes. I'm hoping to condense them down to 15 minutes. I just wanted to really explain and show a fail tonight. So appreciate y'all. Hope y'all have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.